Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this. I was looking back at my, folder that I have with memes, and I was like, oh, I remember this meme, the surprise Pikachu face. I was like, oh, I want to make it into a tapestry. And right now I want to show you guys how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to use the Tunisian Simple Stitch, which it's a stitch that I really like. It works best for tapestries. And I'm going to actually break down the picture or the reference picture that I'm following into halves. So I'm going to work onto a half of the face and then half of the other face. If it makes sense, I'll put it up on screen if it doesn't. So I'm going to work on to the left side of the face first, and I'm going to chain 14. So like I said before, I'm going to use the Tunisian Simple Stitch for this tapestry, and it just basically means that we work onto the back of our chains. So we turn it, and as you can see, there's like this little bumps that connect the chains, and the stitch that we have on our hook counts as one. So as you can see, hopefully on your own project also, there is this little first bump that connects to this first stitch. Well, we're not going to use that one, and we're going to go straight to the next one, insert our hook there, and yarn over and keep our stitches in our hook. Yarn over and we insert our hook. I think a tip that I can give is that whenever you're making your foundation chains, make them loose so you're not struggling like I am to insert the hook and actually pulling through the stitches. With all of our stitches in our hook, always making sure they are properly counted. For in my case, I'm doing 14, so I should have 14 chains. Better be safe than sorry. Recount your stitches as many times as you can, because going back and forth is really, really painful. And then we're going to chain one onto the very last stitch, and then we're going to grab our yarn and pull through two of our stitches, and we keep pulling through two of our stitches. For our second row, we're going to work onto the front post, only the front loops of our previous row. So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and keep our stitches in our hook, and only onto those front posts of our previous row. And just as a reminder, we always chain one onto the very last stitch, yarning over and pulling through two and two all the way down our row. Actually, the next row is going to be all yellow also, and I'm going to meet you back onto the fourth row, or the end of our third row, beginning our fourth row, because we're going to do a color switch. So if you were following along, I did told you guys to actually, pull through two all the way down our row, right? But for our fourth row, we want a color change, and that color change is made right at the beginning of our row. So since we always have this stitch, we want to start with the color that we want to start with, of course. So we're going to undo that last pulling through, and we should end up with these two stitches, and we're going to grab our next color and we're going to yarn over with it, and that we just ensure that our next row starts with the actual color that we want. So we just do the very same thing that we were doing. Actually, it's not that I hope you're not super mad at me, but it's not a full tutorial. This is just a startup for you to, kind of learn along with me and be confident in yourself that you can do it on your own. I will meet you back up again when I have finished all of this, left face or the first part of my tapestry, and I'll tell you how to join onto this half, the second half, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Don't worry, you just need to follow along with the pattern that I'm showing. I have done it before where you can actually break it in half, or you can always, if you feel confident, you can do it in one go. I just think it's easier and faster if you break it down into little pieces that you can handle. Also, just coming back, I think I didn't tell you guys, but whenever you have two different color stitches in your hook, you always use that second color. So instead of yarning over and pulling through two with your yellow yarn, you would do it with the second color yarn that you have on your stitch. That way you ensure that these two colors are properly, met and actually, blocked together. Alright, so now that I've done half of my surprise Pikachu phase, I'm going to show you how to join the second half.